Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another Generation Math. But this time, I invited one of our teachers in senior high school, Miss Maricel Q. Angeles, to grace our YouTube channel about if and then statement for grade 8 students. So listen and enjoy this video.
Good morning, guys. Welcome to our math special class for grade 8. I'm Marcel Q. Angeles, your teacher for today. The topic that I will going to discuss today is all about reasoning using conditional statement. Reasoning, guys, is very important in our day-to-day activities because reasoning help us in proving something, in making decisions, in making conclusions. But how can we have a valid reason? How can we have a valid conclusion? So in this lesson, we will learn all those things that I've mentioned earlier. So let's start our discussion. So what is a conditional statement? By definition, a conditional statement is a statement that can be written in if-then form. So if we are going to write a conditional statement, it should be in this form, if, then. So take note of this, guys. So the definition, a conditional statement is an if-then statement. It has two parts, the hypothesis or the P part. The hypothesis can be denoted as P, and it has also the conclusion, or it is denoted by Q. In symbols, it can be written like this, as you can see in the screen. It can be read as if P, then Q, or P implies Q. If we are going to write a diagram about a conditional statement, it can be represented by this diagram. Okay, so let's have some examples. So I have here a conditional statement saying that if two angles are supplementary, then the sum of the measures of the angles is 180 degrees. So let's identify its part. What is the if clause and what is the then clause? So the if clause or the P part, if two angles are supplementary. So the then clause or the Q part is the phrase saying that then the sum of measures of the angles is 180 degrees. Our hypothesis, two angles are supplementary, and the conclusion, the sum of the measures of the angles is 180 degrees. Another example, if today is Friday, then tomorrow is Saturday. So our if clause or P, if today is Friday. The then clause or Q, then tomorrow is Saturday. Hypothesis, today is Friday, and the conclusion, tomorrow is Saturday. Next example, if you are a Filipino, then you are a God-fearing person. Our if clause P, if you are a Filipino, then the then clause Q, then you are a God-fearing person. Hypothesis, you are a Filipino, and the conclusion, you are God-fearing person. There are some conditional statements that are not written in this form, but you can rewrite them using the if-then form. So, let's have an example. Cigarette smoking is dangerous to your health. So, this statement is not written in the if-then format, but still we can identify its hypothesis and its conclusion by rewriting this in if-then form. So what is the if then form of this statement? So, if you smoke cigarette, then your health is in danger. So, what is our if clause? If you smoke cigarette, what is our then clause? Then your health is in danger. Hypothesis, you smoke cigarette, and the conclusion, your health is in danger. Take note, class, that the hypothesis is the if part or the if clause. Our conclusion is the then clause. So take note of that. So let's proceed. Let's have another example. Students who are good in math are smart. Again, this statement is not written in the if-then format. So we have to rewrite it in conditional statement or using the if-then form. So the if-then form of this statement, if the student is good in math, then he is smart. So the if clause, if the student is good in math, the then clause, then he is smart. So what is our hypothesis? The student is good in math, and the conclusion is he is smart. Next example is guitar players are musicians. So let's rewrite this in if-then form. So the if-then statement of this given example is if you are a guitar player, then you are a musician. So the if clause, if you are a guitar player. The then clause, then you are a musician. Hypothesis, you are a guitar player. And conclusion, you are a musician. Okay, now let's check if you learned from our discussion. Let's have an activity. Let's identify the P and Q of the given statement. So number one, if x is an even number, then it is divisible by 2. So what is the if clause or P, and what is the then clause or Q? Okay, so let's check if your answer is correct. The if clause or P is the statement saying that if x is an even number and Q or the then clause, then it is divisible by 2. Okay, next. For number 2, if you can see stars, then it is night. So what is the P part and what is the Q part? P part is the hypothesis or the if statement, and Q is the then statement. So let's identify. So let's check if your answer is correct. So the P part or the if statement is if you can see stars. Then the Q part or the then clause, then it is night. Okay? So, so let's have another activity. So in this activity, you are going to rewrite the following in if-then form. So for number 1, congruent segments have equal measures. So what is the if-then form of this statement? Okay, now let's check if your answer is correct. The answer is if the segments are congruent, then they have the same measure. Next, bicycles has 2 wheels. What is the if-then form of this statement? Answer, if it is a bicycle, then it has 2 wheels. So that's all for today, guys. I hope you learned from what I've discussed, and I hope you are now able to rewrite statements in if-then form, and you are now able to identify the hypothesis and the conclusion of a conditional statement.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Sel. Hello, guys. Thank you for watching the video of Ma'am Maricel Q. Angeles. See you next time. Thank you again for gracing our grade 8 mathematics, Ma'am Sel Angeles.
Thank you.
Bye!
Bye.